Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome to part 2 of how I film my covers. In the previous part, I spoke about all of the gear that I use and getting ready to record. So now in this one, I'm going to be actually going for a take and then going into Logic Pro and showing you everything that I do when it comes to audio editing, all of that stuff, and then bouncing it down so you've got the finished file with the drumming on top of the song that you're covering. And then part 3 will be the video editing. So cool, let's go. So the song that I'm actually going to do is the first song that my previous band actually released, partly because of copyright, but also just I've been kind of just missing, prior to COVID and gigging and just playing with mates and stuff. It was just, sad times. But I'm quite excited to do a cover of this song. The drums in it are like, if I may say so myself, I'm really happy with the drums in this song. It's pretty fun to play. So also, I don't need to buy it off iTunes. I've already got the file, so I'm gonna get that ready and then practice it for a little bit. Then when I'm ready, go for some takes. So I've got the takes done and I'm now into Logic. This is how I always have it set up in Logic. I have a template that I always go to. So I've got 7 folders because usually kind of the max amount of takes I'll do is 7. And then in each folder, there's 7 tracks just because I've got 7 mics. So they're all named there. So when going for a take, I'll highlight all of these, press record, and then go for the take. And then when I've finished that one, I'll just close that, mute it, because otherwise when I start the next take, if I don't mute it, I'll be listening to the one that I've just done. And then, just same again, highlight them all, record, finish the take, mute, and then so on. So at the moment, I think I'm going to go with take 4. That was probably my best one. So this is that. So at the moment, all the levels are just set at 0. And you can just hear how they sound with no effects, and the levels haven't been adjusted at all. And then with the track, and I've also got the click in time with the song. I'll just mute that. Cool. Now I'm going to go on to editing it all. I'm not going to speak through it because otherwise this video is going to end up being like probably at least like an hour long. But I'll keep the screen recording going, and then once I've finished, I'll go through everything then. So cool. I'll see you in a minute. So I've done all of the editing now. I spent probably about 50 minutes on it. Pretty average, to be honest. It's not like crazy amount of time. So I'll start off with the kick. At the moment, all of the effects are turned off. Gain, so these are on all of the tracks, and that is for sorting out the phase. On this track it's not inverted, but then some of them will be inverted. To be honest, I can't go deep into the subject because I don't know enough about phase to start, instructing you all about that, because yeah, you're better off listening to someone else, to be honest. Then got EQ, some reverb. It's very subtle though. Sub bass, this just adds some extra like oomph to the kick. Compression, and then all of the tracks are also bus to another reverb and some compression. The snare was sounding horrible. So there's 3 EQs on it. These are all pretty much taken out frequencies, like the ringy, horrible overtones. Overdrive, this is probably frowned upon as well, but this just adds a tiny bit extra, I don't know, I guess like a bit more like oomph again, I guess. Some reverb, compression, and then again reverb and compression. It might sound like a lot of reverb, but then when the track comes in it's not as noticeable. Got the overheads, so just the EQ, again taking out those horrible snare frequencies and just boosting the high ends a little bit. Bit of reverb, bit of compression. And then the toms are, so yeah, the toms, gain, EQs, nothing much going on. Reverb, but again very subtle. Compression, and then sub bass again on the floor, but this is not as much as I put on the kick. Gates, and also the compressions there. So yeah, you won't be able to hear the toms until, yeah, you won't be able to hear the toms because they're gated. And then buses again, and I didn't undo the overheads. Cool, so yeah, that's all of the audio effects and buses. The other little things that I've done are a few cuts here and there. It's really annoying because I'm also, I should say, ignore these tracks here. These are just where I'm currently recording my voice and the audio coming out of the computer. But yeah, a few little cuts, usually just little time alignments. There's really not many. Here though is actually like a velocity adjustment. If I zoom in, so that would have been quite a bit quieter before, and it's with kind of like double hits, where it'd be like da da da. Usually the first hit is quite a bit quieter, and to be honest, that's probably just a technique thing that I'm not, I can't get like really consistent even hits. But yeah, sometimes I'll just boost them so they're a little bit more equal. But yeah, also like a couple little time adjustments. It's only really where I kind of rush like a snare hit or drag a snare hit, and I'm just kind of lining it up with the beat. This is also why it's better doing it with a song that's time aligned. It makes it easier for that. But to be honest, I don't really do that many. If it's a take where so loads of the hits are dragged or rushed, then I'll just scrap it. But it's only if there's just like the odd hit that's just a tiny bit out of time, I can just drag it in a little bit. I feel like it's kind of cheating, but everyone does it. Like professional recording studios, they adjust every single beat. I know for a fact that when recording this song, like every single hit gets lined up to the to like the beat track. But yeah, it does kind of feel like cheating, but I'm definitely not doing it for every beat. I ain't got time for that. It would take way too long. The other thing I should say, please don't think this is me telling you exactly how to mix drums. I am definitely not saying that. I'm just showing you how I do it. If you want to get into it, really, I would just recommend watching loads of videos and even like reading books and stuff on people that really know what they're talking about. Because I know, like, I'm not big enough for it to happen, but if I had a huge fan base, wink wink, subscribe, you should, then I'm sure I would get so many comments that, oh my god, like, that's not how you mix, what are you doing on that, rare, like, there's kind of no real right or wrong way, to be fair, but there are definitely some right things and some wrong things. um but yeah, it's all kind of up for interpretation. So please don't fully judge how I'm doing this. Just if you want to take tips from it, sweet. If you don't, that's cool. Um, Another thing I can mention is that I've done is just a little bit of automation at the end, and this just fades out the drum faders in line with the song. But that's pretty much it, to be honest. I wouldn't sweat it too much, and that's basically good to go now. So when coming to bounce, you want to make sure that these tracks aren't muted. So everything you want to bounce is unmuted. Then you're going to want to set your locators, the yellow bar at the top, from where you want the audio to start to where you want it to end. Go to File, Bounce, Project or Section. Then you can adjust those settings, but it's up to you. I always make a new folder for every video that I do, and I'll just name it the song title. So I've just got a folder where I store every video, and yeah, just name it the title of the song, and then I'll usually just save the file as the title of the song as well. And then yeah, that's bounced down from Logic Pro, and now we've got the audio with the drums. It's all edited over the original song, so that's all good to go. So yeah, that's everything in terms of the audio mixing and recording side of things. If you haven't seen the first part, I spoke about all of the stuff that I use to be able to record everything. And in the next part, I'm going to be going into all of the video editing side of things, so stay tuned for that. If you're not subscribed already, please do. It really helps me out and makes me feel good about what I'm doing. So yeah, and any comments, any questions, suggestions, literally anything, please feel free to comment below. I'll be sure to read it and reply to it. But yeah, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.